Sometimes climbing a rock really is the answer to all life's problems. Hello, gentle friends. It's me, Gina Dominique. Come take a trip with me as I climb up some rocks in Joshua Tree National Park, explore some of its walking trails, and try to escape the stress of the daily grind. If you enjoy this video, please like it and consider subscribing to my channel. I just do this for fun and it brings me joy to bring others joy with my content. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride.
I might just leave it all behind and find another day. Thought it through, good God, I thought it through. And there ain't nothing that I ain't willing to lose.
This rock doesn't have a name, it's literally just on the side of the road. If you come in through the west entrance on Park Boulevard, it's about halfway between the entrance and Quail Springs. My husband and I discovered this rock on a visit in 2022, and it just looked like it would be good to climb, and it is. It's not too dangerous, there's a lot of smaller rocks, so you're not contending with a sheer rock face, but it's challenging enough if you head off the trail and free climb up the side. You may notice that I tend to make sure my hands and feet are planted before I move. I'm not doing a lot of leaping from rock to rock. That's just how my dad taught me when I was a kid. It may not be the most exciting to watch, but it's how I feel safe. And here we go, we made it to the top. And what goes up must come down, right? It's always the descent that gets the muscles going, and I was definitely sore for a few days after doing this. I've always been a climber ever since I was a little kid, and I doubt that will ever change. As an adult, I feel like there's less socially acceptable things you can climb, so rocks just make sense. I love climbing for so many reasons. I love the feeling of being up high. I like being able to use my whole body. And it also gives me the perfect excuse to be outside in nature and the sunshine, and I love being outside. Did you know the park's oldest rocks are over 1 billion years old? Isn't that wild? But today wasn't all about climbing the rocks. My mom and I did some walking too. We trekked around spots that we thought looked interesting, and speaking of interesting, here are some fun facts about Joshua trees that you might not know. Joshua trees aren't really trees at all. They're actually a species of monocot, which includes the yucca family, the same subspecies as flowering plants and orchids. They've recently been classified in the agave family. And remember, because they're not actually trees, they are not actually good for climbing. They are in fact very fragile, so please do not climb them. They only grow 1 to 3 inches per year, which is super slow, and it takes them 50 to 60 years to reach their full height. They have a long lifespan, averaging 150 to 200 years, though the oldest ever recorded was 1,000 years old. In October 2020, Joshua trees became the first plant to be protected under California's Endangered Species Act due to the threat of climate change. They only grow at certain elevations between 2,000 and 6,000 feet above sea level, and aside from the national park, they have only been seen in the San Bernardino Mountains in California and the Sonoran Desert in Arizona. Let's talk about imposter syndrome. Most of the studies conducted over the last 5 years have concluded that between 60 and 70% of professionals have either suffered from it in the past or are currently suffering from imposter syndrome, and I'm definitely one of those people. In 2019, I transitioned careers, and my new career has a very steep learning curve. So a lot of the time I feel incompetent and stupid, and like any minute my employer is going to realize that I'm a failure and fire me, and I'll lose everything I worked so hard for. And that is really hard on my self-esteem. So in those moments when I'm really struggling, I find that it's helpful to do something I know I'm good at, even if it's not related to my career. And rock climbing is one of those things. I'm confident, it reminds me that I am capable, and it just makes me feel better about myself and more prepared to tackle other things in my life that I may not feel as confident in. I think on some level, it's also a bit of a rebellious thing for me to have confidence in something that other people might not think I would be good at. My husband says climbing is a brain meter activity, something that you need to be in the moment for and that you need to devote your entire attention and thought process to, because without that focus on your route and the environment, the danger to you increases. So you need to be all there, all in, 100% focused on the activity, so much so that you stop thinking about how screwed up the world is, or how or why did I do that embarrassing, cringy thing in 10th grade, or whatever drama is happening in your life right now. My brain is about as hyperactive and anxious as you can get, so it definitely appreciates the break that climbing and exploring nature provides. Joshua Tree is a unique park because it's so easy to go off the beaten path and just explore the beautiful nature around you, and you can go pretty far while still being able to see your car in the distance. If you find an inlet in the road, just park your car and start walking, and you can see in the distance the actual Joshua trees. I really admire how nature finds a way to thrive in even the harshest of environments. Make no mistake, Joshua Tree is harsh, getting snow and below freezing temperatures in the winter and then skyrocketing over 100 degrees Fahrenheit in the peak of summer. It blows my mind how the wildlife endures here, particularly when I need to come early in the morning and leave early in the afternoon, otherwise I will melt. After a fun adventure, we're taking off for lunch. I hope you all had a blast traveling with me through Joshua Tree and enjoyed the scenery while listening to my ramblings on life. Next week, I'm heading to Europe, so expect to see some even grander adventures coming up very soon. Until then, this is Gina Dominique signing off and wishing you a wonderful day.